Hello everyone, my name is Andrea. If you don't know me, you should subscribe, but today I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag for 2022. The end of the year book tag is basically a staple throughout booktube, and I love that everybody still does it, like throughout every booktube channel almost. I think it's really cool to watch other people's, and of course I had to do mine, so I'm finally getting to do that today. I do have, I think, 3 years worth of end of the year TBR tags. I can link them down below if you want to check those out. It's kind of cool to go back and watch those. But today I'm going to be answering the 6 questions on the end of the year book tag. This tag was created by Ariel Bissett, I believe. I will tag her original video or her channel down below if I can find it. But let's just jump into these questions. So the first question is going to be, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And yes, I do have a few. This month in November, I've been reading a lot less because I'm doing Nano and I'm working on writing my book, and I'm already like more than halfway towards 50,000 words. So I've been taking Nano very seriously this year, which has been neglecting my reading for the month, but that will change once I'm done with Nano. And I've read a lot this year, but so with all that, I do have a lot of books I need to finish at the moment. So I'm currently reading The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is the second book in the Poppy War series. I need to get this done. I'm barely on chapter 1. I just started it like last week. I'm also reading The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. This is a Shadowhunters novella. I only have like 3 stories left, so I should get this done fairly quickly. I don't have any doubts that I will get through that one. I've also started The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green, which is a essay collection of different essays that he's written. And this one, I still have quite a few. I'm not halfway yet, but almost halfway, so maybe a third through the book. And I do want to finish this. I love it. I do like that every essay I read, I feel like I'm learning stuff. It's really an interesting book. I just don't always reach for it because I'm not a huge nonfiction person, and I have to be kind of like sitting down and not have anything else to do to pick these up, but I do want to keep on with these. And another book that I would like to finish this year is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff, but I actually started it, I think, last year, and I might have mentioned it in my last year's end of the year TBR tag or end of the year tag, but I just know that I've been reading that book since it came out, and I'm literally at the exact halfway point, and I just have not picked it up, but I want to finish it. But I don't know if I'll finish it this year or if it's just like a DNF. I don't know. Okay, question 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I feel like as we're already in November, I've already kind of made the transition into the autumnal books instead of like summer books. But one that stuck out for me that I would recommend if you still are transitioning into the latter half of the year reading wise, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I read this last month in October when I was on my way to New York. I read it on the plane, like one sitting, literally finished the whole thing within a few hours, and it was so good. This just has a lot of darker vibes. I feel like, to me personally, it's more of a academia type set book where this group of friends, they're all in a college for like performing arts basically, and they're all actors, and one of them ends up dying, and so the whole book you're kind of trying to figure out who died, who killed them, and who's lying. So I think that's really cool. I loved just the setting. I feel like it just gives off the autumnal vibes. So my dog is just making himself comfortable. Okay, yeah, just sit right there. Yes. Okay, he's just gonna be joining us. But number 3 is there a new release you're still waiting for? And the answer is no. There are no new releases this year that I am particularly excited about. There may be some coming out that if I like knew they were coming out, I would be like, oh yeah, I might want to read that. But there's none that are on my list that like I know they're coming out and I'm gonna read them. So that is kind of sad, but also I have a lot of things coming out next year that I want to read, so I'm good. I've read so many books, new releases this year, like I'm good. It's okay. There's no more this year. Okay, number 4 is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I have quite a few books I want to read by the end of the year. Basically, so I told myself this year that once I hit my Goodreads goal, I can read whatever I want. Like, I wanted to focus on reading books off my TBR that I've never read instead of doing rereads, because I like to reread books a lot, but I wanted to focus on not doing that. And so once I hit my goal, I was like, okay, you can reread after that. But my goal is at 50, and I like hit that a long time ago, so now I have read 99 books as of like today in this moment. And after I finish my 100th book, I want to just do rereads. So that's what I plan to do. So some books I want to read by the end of the year. Some of these that are rereads for me would be You've Reached Sam. I love You've Reached Sam. I read it last year when it came out, and it's a book that stuck with me. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite books ever, and I listened to it the first time I read it, and I've never actually read it physically, so I kind of want to get into it physically, and I've been wanting to reread it for a long time, so hopefully I get to before the year's over. I also started a reread of Throne of Glass, so I do want to reread Crown of Midnight as well and get as far into an entire Throne of Glass series reread as I can before the year is up. I want to reread this. This is the Nevernight Chronicle, the Litjoy, I think it was, edition. Here we go. I want to read this specific edition as rereads because of course I've read all of these books already. Haven't in a while. It's been a long time, but I want to read these because they have annotations from the author all throughout the book. They have special images, like full colored detailed pictures, illustrations, things like that. It's just a more immersive read for the story, and I wanted to read these before the year's over. I don't know if I will because this month I've been so slow on reading, but I want to if everything goes to my plan. And since I showed you guys just some rereads I want to read, I'll show you guys a book that I haven't read that I would like to finish by the end of the year, and that is this one. It's Dark Age by Pierce Brown. This is just a Nerdy Ink cover that I have, but this is what Dark Age looks like. I really want to finish all of the Red Rising books because this is Red Rising is a trilogy, but this is a continuation to the trilogy, so technically it could be Red Rising book 5. And I haven't read it. I've read all the other ones. I was kind of waiting, but now we have the next book in the Red Rising world, which is going to be Lightbringer, and I need to read this so I can be caught up, ready for Lightbringer. But I know this book it's gonna be so good, but it's gonna hurt me so much because Iron Gold already twisted the world so much deeper and just made it so insane, and I'm just so do not want to know what happens with Darrow and Severo and Mustang. I don't, but I want to so bad. It's like I'm so conflicted. I just need to read it. I want to know, so hopefully I can read this by the end of the year. Okay, number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I don't think so, and I will talk about this more in like my end of the year wrap up, I guess, or basically like my best books of the year videos and things like that. But I read so many good books that shocked me already. I don't think, based off of the fact that I'm just going to be doing a lot of rereads the rest of the year and maybe a couple of new books I haven't read, I don't think any of them are going to shock me and become like my favorites, because I have my favorites. So many good ones I will share with you guys. I have like in past videos, you can probably guess which ones those are, but I already have books that shocked me. Like I already have new faves, and I don't think there's gonna be any more by the time the year's over. Okay, last question is 6. Have you already started making reading plans for next year? And I have. So something I want to do really bad is focus on my TBR again. I did a really good job of that this year, and I'm really happy with the amount of books I got off my TBR and got through and got rid of. But I do want to focus on that again. So I want to do a sort of mystery TBR where I wrap all my books and then just pick them like one by one by one, like don't stop just reading all those books on my TBR. I think that would be fun. I'm gonna of course make a video of me like wrapping the books and explaining more in detail in case anybody else wants to do that. I feel like it's a really cool thing to do. That's something I want to do. There are also a couple books next year that I know I want to read already as well. I got a lot of ARCs coming in from NetGalley because I'm a Penguin Teen influencer, part of their influencing program, or part of their influencer program, and so I know there's there's a lot of cool releases coming up that I want to read and that I will get to. I want to read Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. That's coming out next year, and I got the ARC already, so I can't wait to read that. Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare is coming out in January, gonna be the last book in the Lost Hours trilogy. Gonna cry, scream, and throw up when I read that, but that I will be reading as soon as it comes out. The Holly Black book, The Stolen Heir, the book series about Oak that's coming out, that's gonna be amazing. So there's a lot of plans that I have, like low-key, but nothing like huge, but those are my plans, I guess. Okay, that's it for this video. It was pretty short. This tag, you know, doesn't have too many questions, so I love that. Nice and to the point. But let me know if you have any reading plans for next year already, or if there are any books that you still need to read by the end of the year. Let me know in the comments. But that's gonna be it. So if you want to follow any of my social media, you can down below in my description. There are also some ways in my description to help support my channel if you want to check that out. But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
3, 2, 1. Arguing again, arguing about something so simple. Make it clear, tell me why you're running back to him. Feeling insecure, feeling like there's more to your character. Every tear that you cry is worth it in the end.